Okay, here goes my chestnuts. Check them out. They're sprouting. I've had them in the refrigerator in these dirt bags since this one says October 9th of 2023 from Lancaster County, PA, a place called Landis Valley Farms. It's a museum, a 100-acre farm that was handed down through the generations, and they preserved it now. This Landis family from the 1700s and 1800s. It's like a plantation, and you can go there and explore blacksmithing and how they make apple butter and all the things they did a long time ago, and they preserved it. Well, they have all these trees here. They have orchards, heirloom seed gardens, all the stuff that you need to know, like for prepping and stuff like that. Well, anyway, they had these trees up there, these chestnut trees and walnut trees that were dropping all the seeds because we were there in October and they were all over the ground. And I said, "Holy smokes, man!" These, I started taking them. So I started taking all the chestnuts off the ground and I bagged them and put them in the fridge. Now, I don't know if the chestnuts are actually American chestnuts or some kind of hybrid or how old the chestnut trees were, but they were pretty big. So I said, if I'm going to grow any chestnuts, let's try to get it from this old farm, and hopefully those trees were from that time period and they just been held down. So that's where these came from, and we're going to get them in the pots today. Okay, I got all the little chestnuts in the pots. These are little 1-gallon pots. I was going to put them in the tree tubes there, but the problem with these containers is all the holes and the dirt falls out the sides, and I'm probably going to have these inside for a little while until they get started, so I don't want mud in the tray filling up the tray. So I'm just going to put them right in pots. They're all ready to go. I packed it all in there nice, and now I'm just taking my dirt and I'm just going to lightly cover each one. The problem is, I'm telling you, the squirrels, if the squirrels smell these, I don't know how they know, but anytime I'm doing oak trees, anything like acorns, chestnuts, walnuts, anything like this, the stinking squirrels know, man. They know. And they come right here and they will dig this stuff up and eat every one of these things. All right, we've got 25 good chestnuts, and I think what's that, 6 that didn't come up. I picked these up on October 4th last year. This is from the tree on the side of the road. But if you can see here, these are all ready to get planted. Tree on the side of the road, and then these down here, and there, and back here. Those are chestnuts that came from that Landis Valley farm there, the historical place, and they're actually starting to come up right there. I don't know if you can see that right there, but they are starting. There's another one right there starting to come up. Let's see, can you see that right there? And these been in pots for a week and 1 day. So a week and 1 day, and they're starting to come up out of the ground. But I put them in when they look like this. Here are the black walnuts. I've had these walnuts in the refrigerator for 6 months in the Ziploc bag, stratifying them. And I kept checking on them, and I never saw taproot. And I finally was like, man, I'm gonna throw these things out. These nuts must be no good. Like, none of them got a taproot. I didn't know what was going on. So I decided to put them all, they're all lined in here completely in a circle, only this much underneath the dirt, a couple inches, and I put dirt on them. It's like completely full with the walnuts here. And I put them out here in the sunlight, and I figured, well, maybe the cold soil in the refrigerator is keeping them from growing a taproot, unlike all the other trees like acorns and chestnuts, they'll start that taproot in the refrigerator, but these did not do that. So I said, well, maybe they're a little bit different, and maybe they need to feel a warmer temperature soil after they were frozen before they'll start the taproot. I've got all my pots ready to plant them if this works, but this is the first time I'm going to check them. It is now April, and they were in the refrigerator since September, and they've been out here in this pot, I think, for almost 3 weeks. So 3 weeks outside in the sunlight, out of the refrigerator, and we're going to see what happened to them now. Did it actually work? And I was watering this dirt while I was out here, so it wasn't like dry. But you can see, like right here, they're not under the dirt very far at all, actually. Maybe an inch. Did anything happen? Bam. There you go. Look at that. Taproot. That's what it needed. So the black walnuts, you have to stratify them in the refrigerator, but in order for them to start, after that stratification period, you got to put them outside in the sunlight, in the soil, and let that soil temperature get warm before they'll start a taproot. That's amazing. So like under 3 weeks, it did that. All right, so let's start popping them in here and see what's going on. Oh man, look at this. 2 for 2 already. I'm trying to be real careful I don't flip them over and break that taproot if they have one. Yeah, there's another one. 3 for 3. Yeah, you can see how they're all starting to split. The shell's split in half where that taproot comes out. Wow. That's like a 6-inch stem there. Root. So you can see I'm just making a hole and just setting that taproot straight down, putting the dirt around it to hold it in place. And then just put another handful over top just to cover it all up. Okay, here's the update on the trees. It is now May, and this is the little cage I made for them. It's 2x2 pressure treated squares. It is 4 foot by 8 foot by 4 foot, and I made it 4 foot dimensions because a roll of the wire is 4 foot wide, so it made it easier. But inside there, we've got 2 different trees of chestnuts. One from a huge tree that I've been working around for 20 some years, so I think it's a real American chestnut. And then these came from Landisville Farm Museum, from their grounds, both chestnuts, 2 different trees. And these are all the walnut trees that I started, and stinking every one came up. Like every one of them came up. And I got a little door here, so I can open the door and go in there to work on them. My white oaks that I planted, I kept them alive all winter, and they're just not coming back. They're still alive though. I
don't know why they haven't leafed out. I don't know what the problem is. And then my cherry trees that are looking really shabby. I don't know what their deal is. So I just put them off to the side. We'll start over again next year. But there are some yellow leaves on these at the bottoms and all. And that's because I brung them out of the house when it was still really cold out. So the brown leaves are where the frost got them. And then they'd bounce right back as soon as they got acclimated to the colder weather. And now the walnuts didn't even come up until they were out here. So the walnuts had it the best. So they're doing really good. But I'm going to show you a trick. See how hard it is to see in this cage with this mesh here? Because it's silver and it reflects the light. Like if you're trying to look in there. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to try to do this without killing the trees. And you just hit your wire. Let's see, I'll do a square here. I don't want to get on my wood. I like the wood the way it is. Just spray your wire black. Let's do this side and leave the rest of it normal. I don't know if it's getting on the trees or not.
I would say yeah.
I'm just going to keep it above like this high up. Like that level. Can you see the difference?
Yeah.
See how you can see right in there? Like it's nuts. So I can lift this off. So I probably should do that. I should have probably did that for the video, right? So, of course, there's no bottom to this. And I'm going to put wheels on that side so that I can lift it like this and then roll it. But I'll have to do that and spray paint it. But if you spray paint your mesh with black spray paint, you can see right in there. And you don't have to like I've been going like this. I've been doing this to try to look at my trees. And then I saw this trick, just hit it with some black paint. So that's that. Here's a better angle. Can you see the bottom is where it's not sprayed black and the top is where it's sprayed black? Like there's literally a line. It's hard for you to see that, how you can't see through it. And if you just move up, there you go. That's probably good right there. So you can actually see them. And then there you got to cover your eyes along the sides. Yeah, so just black spray paint. And even up here, I'll spray paint this all black. The sun's going down, so it's hard to see. But when the sun's out, it's like gray. This whole thing looks like that does on the top right now. Like you can't really see in it. So I'm gonna tilt it up and I'll spray paint the whole thing with the black spray paint, and it'll look see-through. Actually, it'll probably be bad because the birds will fly into it. Here's the garden. It's the update on the gardens. Same time, my pumpkins are all coming out, and my corn, that's red bloody butcher corn. I got some shabby tomatoes there, and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and everything's in these little cages that I had for my trees because we had a groundhog or rabbit jump in here, and they'll mow everything down. So I could probably take these off. I think the stalks are good enough to where they're not like a tender shoot. It's like a corn stalk right now. So I could probably take them off, but I'm too afraid to take it off. I'm gonna wait till they get as tall as me, 6 foot tall, before I take them out of the cages. But the garden's doing well. There's my milkweed. I think this year I'm going to try to, when it gets all the pods on it, I think instead of just throwing away the pods and chopping it down, I might bag up all the little pods of milkweed, the dry seeds. And if anybody wants some milkweed, I got the best milkweed in town, baby. It turns all purple and it smells great. It's really good for pollinators. That's it. You can't eat it. You can't do nothing with it. But it smells good. It looks good. And this stuff is native. This is native milkweed. You don't have to do anything. It just, you don't even have to water the stuff, and it grows well. So that's good. I go up the driveway here. Hey, you. Yeah. So up here I got my trees. I tried an experiment too. So I also planted pumpkins in pots here. and they're doing better in these pots than in the garden. Let me come around this side. They're growing out and looking for the sun. So what I think I'm going to try to do is when the runners reach it to the fence. Oh, look, my fence fell off. I'm going to roll them onto this fence and let the pumpkins hang on the fence and see if it grows like that. So that'll be an experiment for later on. We'll see. Probably within 2 weeks they'll be up on the top of that fence.